The day begins with the first golden rays of the sun illuminating your royal chamber. Outside, your kingdom thrives. Workers carve monuments in your honor, and the Nile teems with life, sustaining your civilization. Inside, your attendants approach, bowing low as they crown you with a gleaming headdress and drape a golden chain around your neck. As Pharaoh, every moment of your life is steeped in grandeur. But behind the luxury lies the weight of divine duty. No alarms here. Your attendants wake you with reverent whispers. But there's no time to linger. The day's responsibilities begin with reviewing dispatches from across your kingdom. Military reports, tax disputes, and land claims all demand your divine attention. Yes, even pharaohs had paperwork. Only theirs came in the form of endless scrolls of papyrus. As Pharaoh, you're not just a political leader, you're the living bridge between gods and mortals. Every morning begins with prayers and rituals to ensure divine favor for your kingdom. These offerings aren't mere tradition, they're a cosmic necessity, ensuring the gods remain pleased and Egypt stays prosperous. The dawn signifies more than the start of a new day. It's a renewal of cosmic order. Your people depend on you to maintain harmony with the gods. A grumpy pharaoh could spell disaster for the kingdom, so each ritual is performed with precision and reverence. With morning rituals complete, it's time to tackle governance. The royal court buzzes with activity, disputes to settle, resources to allocate, and laws to enforce. Your word carries the weight of the gods, shaping the lives of millions. You're also Egypt's top diplomat. Ambassadors from distant lands arrive bearing tributes, hoping to secure alliances. Each decision strengthens your empire's influence or risks its stability. Even your most trusted advisors tread carefully. Whispers of defiance could threaten the divine order itself. When conflict arises, your role shifts from ruler to military commander. Whether defending Egypt or expanding its borders, your presence inspires loyalty and strikes fear into enemies. Even on the battlefield, you're seen as a divine force, a living god wielding both strategy and strength. As Pharaoh, you don't just give orders, you lead. Your bravery cements your legacy, ensuring your people remember you as both a protector and a conqueror. Your divine mission doesn't end with rituals. Building temples and monuments is a crucial part of your legacy. These structures honor the gods and immortalize your reign in stone, ensuring your name echoes through eternity. Grand ceremonies like the said festival reaffirm your divine authority. Meanwhile, preparations for your afterlife are always underway. Your tomb is a masterpiece, designed to ensure your transition to the eternal realm is as magnificent as your life on Earth. Even a pharaoh has moments of respite. Between duties, you retreat to your palace garden, a tranquil escape from the burdens of rulership. Here you enjoy music, games, and the company of your closest confidants. Games like Senna offer both strategy and entertainment, while chariot racing and hunting let you showcase your skills. Leisure isn't just a luxury, it's a reminder of your humanity amid the weight of divinity. As the day ends, you reflect on your accomplishments and prepare for another cycle of duty. For a pharaoh, life is an unending balance of divine service, governance, and legacy building. But would you thrive in this role? Or would you crumble under the weight of the crown? Let us know in the comments below.
So, you want to be a time traveler, but are you ready to avoid one of the biggest pitfalls? Breaking the law, accidentally. In this video, we're diving into 12 surprising things that used to be illegal in the US. Did you know pinball machines were banned in New York City in 1942? They were considered a form of gambling. Police even smashed confiscated machines with sledgehammers. It wasn't until the 1970s that pinball was reclassified as a game of skill and the bans were lifted. In Elmore City, Oklahoma, public dancing was banned in 1898. Like in the movie Footloose, students fought to overturn the ban in 1980 so they could have a prom. Thankfully, they won. Believe it or not, some cities banned eating ice cream cones on Sundays in the early 1900s. Why? It was deemed too frivolous and disrespectful for the Sabbath. In Mississippi, it was once illegal to sell cold beer in stores. Room temperature? Fine. Cold? Illegal. The goal was to discourage immediate drinking and potential drunk driving. In 1908, a New York City law prohibited women from smoking in public. It was seen as unladylike and even immoral. The law didn't last long, thankfully. Blue laws once banned Sunday shopping in many states. This was meant to preserve the Sabbath as a day of rest. Even today, Bergen County, New Jersey, still enforces some of these laws. Bowling was outlawed in colonial America. Authorities viewed it as a sinful activity associated with gambling and bad behavior. In Texas, pre-mixed margaritas were banned from being sold in liquor stores until 2015. The reasoning? Bureaucratic red tape and outdated alcohol distribution laws. In California, there was a time when eating grapes from the vine during certain labor strikes was illegal. This was a response to protests during the grape boycott of the 1960s. Spitting in public was banned in many cities during the late 19th and early 20th centuries to prevent the spread of tuberculosis. In the early 20th century, fortune-telling was outlawed in several states. It was considered fraudulent and superstitious. In Kentucky, buying alcohol on Election Day was illegal until 2013. The law aimed to prevent voter bribery with booze, a common practice in the 19th century. Time travel might not be real, yet, but it's fun to think about how strange laws once shaped our world. What other weird laws do you know of? Let us know in the comments.
Before the circle of life began with Simba, a young cub named Mufasa rose from the ashes to become the greatest king of the Pride Lands. But his story? You've never heard it like this before. In Mufasa, the Lion King, we meet a side of Mufasa you've never seen before, a vulnerable orphaned cub who had to fight against the odds to become a legend. This isn't the confident ruler we know, this is Mufasa before the crown. Continuing the photorealistic style of the 2019 The Lion King, this prequel is a visual masterpiece. Every blade of grass, every animal, every drop of water looks like it's pulled straight from the African savanna. One of the most intriguing aspects of the film is the early relationship between Mufasa and his brother Taka, who we later know as Scar. The bond they share and the eventual fracture sets the stage for one of Disney's most iconic rivalries. Rafiki, the wise mandrill, narrates this story as a tale of inspiration for future generations. His voice gives the story a mythical, almost legendary quality. At its heart, Mufasa, The Lion King is about resilience, self-discovery, and embracing destiny. It's a story that teaches us that greatness is earned, not given. The film balances its emotional depth with family-friendly storytelling. While it explores darker themes of loss and rivalry, it remains a tale of hope and inspiration. With a score by Hans Zimmer and fresh contributions from Pharrell Williams, the music blends nostalgia with modern rhythms. It's a soundtrack that will stay with you long after the credits roll. Whether you're a lifelong fan of The Lion King or discovering it for the first time, Mufasa, The Lion King is a must-watch. It's a story of triumph, heartbreak, and the journey to greatness. Don't miss it. What do you think of Mufasa's origin story? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. And hit the bell for more epic stories from the Pride Lands. Did you know that only about 10% of the population is left-handed? Lefties are rare, fascinating, and sometimes face unique challenges. Let's dive into 10 lesser-known facts about left-handed people that might surprise you. First off, only 1 in 10 people are left-handed, which means lefties are part of an exclusive club. Studies suggest left-handed people are better at multitasking. This might be because the 2 hemispheres of their brain communicate more efficiently, giving them an edge when juggling multiple activities. Lefties are often known for their creativity. From Leonardo da Vinci to Jimi Hendrix, many left-handed individuals have made their mark in the arts, music, and literature. Maybe there's something about thinking outside the box. Here's an incredible fact. Left-handed people may recover faster from brain injuries. Their brains tend to be more symmetrical, allowing other areas to pick up the slack when one part is damaged. Writing can be tricky for lefties. From smudging ink to awkwardly adapting to right-handed desks, the struggle is real. But lefties have learned to adapt in a world designed for right-handed folks. Did you know that left-handedness is more common among twins? Scientists aren't sure why, but if you know a pair of twins, chances are one of them might be a lefty. In sports, being left-handed can be a huge advantage. Whether it's tennis, baseball, or fencing, lefties can throw off right-handed opponents with their unexpected techniques. Interestingly, men are slightly more likely to be left-handed than women. Researchers haven't pinned down the exact reason for this, but it's a curious gender difference. Here's a fun political fact. Several U.S. presidents, including Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and George H.W. Bush, were left-handed. That's a lot of leadership packed into that 10%. Some lefties are mixed-handed, meaning they use their left hand for certain tasks like throwing, but their right for others like writing. It's like having the best of both worlds. Left-handed people truly are unique in so many ways. If you're a lefty, or you know one, share this video and celebrate the quirks that make them special. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment with your favorite fact about left-handed people. See you next time. Think you know Captain America? Here are 15 surprising facts about the Star-Spangled Avenger. Captain America started with a triangular shield, changed to a round one in issue #2 due to copyright complaints. In the 1970s, Cap battled addiction, mirroring the real-world drug epidemic. In one of Marvel's wilder arcs, Cap became a werewolf after exposure to a wolf serum. Steve proved himself worthy decades before Endgame. In the 1970s, Steve rejected the US government and became Nomad. In a rare Marvel-DC crossover, Cap and Batman joined forces to stop the Red Skull and Joker. In the Ultimate Universe, Cap and Black Widow were lovers, until Natasha turned on him. Others like Bucky, Sam Wilson, and John Walker have carried the shield. Cap's freezing and revival happened more than once, making it a recurring plot device. Without the serum, Steve reverted to his pre-Cap physique. In one of Marvel's most controversial arcs, Steve was brainwashed into working for Hydra. Cap was created in 1941 as a symbol of American resilience during War II. Cap can't get drunk, thanks to the super soldier serum's toxin immunity. Stan Lee's first professional gig was writing a Cap story. Cap was nominated for president but declined, choosing to inspire through action. The legacy of Captain America is more than superpowers, it's about standing for what's right. If you learned something new today, hit that like button, share your favorite fact in the comments, and subscribe for more superhero deep dives.
Think you know Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Think again. This classic tale is darker, deeper, and way more controversial than you've ever imagined. Here are 15 facts that will totally blow your mind. The original Grimm's tale is much darker. The version you know is nothing compared to the Brothers Grimm's original. Did you know Snow White was just 7 years old? And her stepmother didn't just try to poison her once. There were multiple assassination attempts, like suffocating her with a corset and poisoning her with a comb. Oh, and the Queen's punishment? She had to dance in red-hot iron shoes until she died. Yep, Disney left that part out. Snow White was likely inspired by a real person. Turns out Snow White might have been based on Maria Sophia von Erthal, a real German girl from 1725. She had a controlling stepmother, lived near a mirror-making town, and even had miners nearby. Sound familiar? The dwarfs originally had no names. Believe it or not, the dwarfs didn't have names in the original story. Disney gave them iconic names like Grumpy and Dopey, but earlier drafts included Chesty, Tubby, and even Deffy. Glad they rethought those. The poisoned apple has biblical roots. The poisoned apple wasn't just a random plot device. It's thought to symbolize the forbidden fruit in the Bible. Just like Eve, Snow White's curiosity had major consequences. Fun fact, in the original story, only half the apple was poisoned. Disney's Snow White was the first ever feature-length animated film. When Disney released Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1937, it became the first full-length animated movie ever made. People thought the project would flop, calling it Disney's folly. Instead, it became one of the biggest hits of all time. The Queen wasn't always a stepmother. In early versions of the tale, the Queen wasn't Snow White's stepmother, she was her biological mother. It was later changed to make the story less disturbing, but it definitely changes how we see her actions. The magic mirror has multiple meanings. The Queen's mirror isn't just about vanity, it's a symbol of societal pressures to look perfect. Some people even say it's a reflection of modern social media where everyone's chasing likes and validation. The prince played a minimal role in the original tale. Here's a twist. In the Grimm's version, the prince didn't kiss Snow White to wake her up. Instead, he accidentally dislodged the apple from her throat while moving her coffin. No true love's kiss, just a really lucky accident. The number 7 is symbolic. The 7 dwarfs aren't just a random number. They symbolize perfection and completeness. Think about it. 7 days of the week, 7 wonders of the world. Some even say the dwarfs represent the 7 deadly sins. The tale reflects historical social norms. This story is a mirror of 19th century values. Women were expected to focus on beauty, housework, and obedience. Snow White's domestic skills and passivity fit right into that mold. The coffin was not made of glass. In the original story, Snow White's coffin was made of crystal, not glass. It was meant to emphasize her purity and value, making it even more magical. The Queen's 3 disguises. The Queen doesn't just use the poisoned apple to trick Snow White. She tries 3 times, first with a corset, then a poisoned comb, and finally the apple. Talk about determination. Snow White may be a coming-of-age story. Some people see Snow White's journey as symbolic of growing up. Leaving home, facing challenges, and being awakened by the prince, all represent the transition from childhood to adulthood. The Queen and Snow White might be 2 sides of the same person. Some scholars believe the Queen and Snow White represent 2 sides of the same woman. The Queen is Snow White's fear of aging and losing beauty, while Snow White symbolizes youthful innocence. The story's popularity helped revive fairy tales. See? Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs is way more than a simple fairy tale. It's full of dark twists, hidden meanings, and surprising history. Which fact shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments. And if you love uncovering the hidden side of stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. See you next time.
Imagine being handed a box that holds all the world's secrets, and being told, don't open it. Could you resist? This is the story of Pandora's box, and what happened next changed humanity forever. Let's set the stage. In ancient Greek mythology, Zeus, the king of the gods, was angry. Humans had just stolen fire thanks to Prometheus, and Zeus wanted revenge. But not just on Prometheus, on all of humanity. So Zeus came up with a plan. He had the gods create Pandora, the very first woman, as a kind of perfect trap. Aphrodite gave her beauty. Hermes gave her charm. And Hephaestus shaped her with incredible detail. She wasn't just beautiful, she was mesmerizing. She was so stunning people couldn't look away. Her beauty was legendary. She wore a flowing red dress, her skin glowed like sunlight, and her eyes seemed to hold 1,000 secrets. Pandora was given as a gift to humanity. But there was a catch. Along with her, Zeus sent a box and told her, whatever you do, don't open this. Now, imagine being told not to open something. No reason given. What would you do? Day after day, the box sat there, glowing faintly, whispering to her curiosity. Until one day she couldn't resist anymore. When Pandora opened the box, all the evils of the world escaped: disease, suffering, jealousy, and death. Humanity went from a carefree existence to one filled with pain. But before everything could escape, she slammed the box shut, trapping one last thing inside: hope. Hope stayed behind like a single light in the darkness. But why? Was it a gift to help humanity survive, or just another cruel trick from Zeus? So, was Pandora really at fault? Zeus created her to be curious, knowing she would open the box. Was this just a setup, or was she responsible for what happened? And what about hope? Is it the ultimate gift that keeps us going? Or is it just another way to keep us struggling against impossible odds? Pandora's story isn't just a myth, it's a mirror for humanity's struggles with curiosity, responsibility, and hope. Would you have opened the box? And what do you think about hope? Gift or curse? If you want to hear more stories like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. And remember, some boxes are better left closed.
So, you've probably heard the phrase making a deal with the devil, but what does it even mean? Basically, it's when someone trades their soul to get something they really want, like talent, money, or power. Sounds cool, right? Well, it's not that simple. Let's break it down. First, the good stuff. If you make a deal with the devil, you can get whatever you want. Want to be the best guitarist in the world? Done. Dreaming of being super rich and famous? Easy. Hate school? Forget about studying, just get everything downloaded into your brain. The devil's like, no biggie, sign here. Here's the bad part. You're giving up your soul. That means after you die, the devil owns you forever. Like, no chill vibes, no Netflix in the afterlife, just eternal suffering. Oh, and there's a chance you might regret it even before you die because, guilt and stuff. Let's talk about some people who supposedly made deals. Ever heard of Robert Johnson? He was this amazing blues musician, So good people said he must have made a deal with the devil. He became famous fast, but he died young, and the rumors only got stronger. Then there's Dr. Faustus. He was a smart dude who wanted to know everything. A demon showed up and said, "Sure, I'll teach you everything, but in 24 years I'm taking your soul." Faustus said yes, had a blast, and then totally regretted it later. Big oops. But wait, why does the devil even care about your soul? Some people think it's like a competition with God. The more souls the devil gets, the more powerful he becomes. Others say it's just about keeping the balance between good and evil. Either way, your soul is basically VIP access for him. Okay, let's keep it simple. Pros: you get rich, talented, or famous instantly. No boring practice or hard work. You can live your dream life for a while. Cons: you lose your soul forever. You might get caught by people who think you're evil. Hello, witch trials. Eternal suffering in hell doesn't sound like fun. Basically, short-term fun, long-term disaster. Worth it? You decide. So, what should you do if the devil offers you a deal? Honestly, just say no. Keep practicing your skills, save your money, and work hard. Sure, it's slower, but at least you won't end up in a flaming pit for eternity. At the end of the day, it's just a story. A fun way to think about ambition and greed, but the takeaway is real. Be careful what you wish for, and don't rush into decisions, especially if they involve your soul. Oh, and practice your guitar. It's safer than making deals with demons. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more cool myths and stories. Got a legend you want us to cover? Let us know in the comments. And remember, don't make deals with the devil. See you next time.
Sharks are fascinating, powerful creatures. But what if you suddenly find yourself face to face with one in the open ocean? Knowing what to do can be the difference between life and death. Let's dive into the essential steps for surviving a shark attack. First, let's understand. Sharks don't typically target humans. Most attacks are cases of mistaken identity or curiosity. But when you're in their territory, it's crucial to stay alert and prepared. Tip number 1, stay calm. Panicking and splashing around can make you look like injured prey, which might attract the shark's attention. Keep your movements slow and deliberate. Tip number 2, maintain eye contact. Sharks prefer to ambush their prey, so facing them directly can discourage an attack. Stay aware of their movements. Avoid excessive splashing. Splashing not only mimics prey behavior, but also sends vibrations through the water that sharks can detect from far away. If you have any objects with you, a surfboard, a snorkel, or even a stick, use them as a barrier. Sharks are curious but cautious, and creating a physical boundary can make them think twice. If the shark attacks, fight back. Aim for sensitive areas like the eyes, gills, or snout. These spots can overwhelm the shark and drive it away. Tip number 7, back away slowly. Move towards safety without turning your back on the shark. Turning away might signal vulnerability. Once you have a chance, exit the water quickly but carefully. Sharks rarely follow into very shallow water, but remain cautious until you're completely safe. If bitten, seek medical attention immediately. Control any bleeding by applying pressure and call for help as soon as possible. Quick action can save lives. Sharks are a vital part of our oceans, and attacks are rare. But knowing how to handle an encounter can give you the confidence to stay safe in their domain. Subscribe for more survival tips and ocean adventures. Thanks for watching. Click here to subscribe, and here to check out our other survival guides.
The Coliseum, one of the most iconic buildings in the world, has stood as a symbol of Roman engineering and culture for over 2,000 years. But have you ever wondered why half of this ancient marvel is missing? The story of the missing half begins during the height of the Roman Empire. In 217 AD, a devastating fire broke out, damaging much of the Colosseum's wooden infrastructure. While repairs restored its grandeur, the fire left parts of the interior weakened. After the fall of the Roman Empire, the Colosseum's purpose changed dramatically. The once bustling arena, famous for gladiator battles, was taken over by the Catholic Church. They built a chapel inside the structure and even converted the arena floor into a cemetery. Later it was transformed into a fortress and eventually a castle as medieval rulers sought to make use of its strong walls. Then, disaster struck. In 1349, a massive earthquake shook Rome, causing the southern side of the Coliseum to collapse. The damage was extensive, and the ruins became a convenient quarry for building materials. Over the next few centuries, the Colosseum was plundered. Its stones were repurposed for new buildings, and its bronze clamps were stripped from the walls, leaving behind the holes we see today. But not all was lost. In the 16th century, the Pope commissioned efforts to restore the Colosseum. These efforts preserved what remained of the structure and marked the beginning of its transformation into a cultural and historical monument. Today, the Colosseum stands as a powerful reminder of both the grandeur of ancient Rome and the passage of time. Its missing half is not just a story of destruction, but a testament to its resilience. The missing half of the Colosseum holds centuries of history, shaped by natural disasters, human ingenuity, and the relentless march of time. What stories does it still have to tell?
Welcome to today's chilling episode, where we uncover the haunting last words of 20 death row inmates and the crimes that sealed their fates. Their final moments are a window into their souls, filled with defiance, regret, and even humor. Let's begin. Our first story is that of Tory Twain McNabb. Executed in Alabama in 2017 for the murder of a police officer. His final words were filled with rage. "I hate you. I curse you. I hope you rot in hell." Next, Sarah Good. Accused of witchcraft during the Salem witch trials in 1692. Before her execution, she proclaimed, "I am no more a witch than you are a wizard, and if you take away my life, God will give you blood to drink." In 1960, James W. Rogers faced a firing squad in Utah for murder. When asked for a last request, his dark humor shone through. "Bring me a bulletproof vest." Robert Alton Harris, executed in California. In 1992 for murdering 2 teenage boys, left us with a chilling reflection. You can be a king or a street sweeper, but everybody dances with the Grim Reaper. James French, executed in Oklahoma in 1966 for killing his cellmate, chose to entertain the press with his last words. "How's this for your headline? French fries." Known as the Vampire of Dusseldorf, Peter Curtin was executed in Germany in 1931 for multiple murders. His last words revealed a morbid curiosity. Tell me, will I still be able to hear, at least for a moment, the sound of my own blood gushing from the stump of my neck? Karl Panzram, a serial killer and rapist, was executed in Kansas in 1930. His final defiance: "Hurry it up, you Hoosier bastard. I could kill 10 men while you're fooling around." Thomas J. Grasso, executed in Oklahoma in 1995 for murder, left a strange complaint. "I did not get my SpaghettiOs, I got spaghetti. I want the press to know this." In 2013, Richard Aaron Cobb was executed in Texas for kidnapping, sexual assault, and murder. His philosophical last words were, "Life is death. Death is life." I hope that someday this absurdity that humanity has come to will come to an end. Vincent Gutierrez, executed in Texas in 2007 for carjacking and murder, showed remorse. "I am sorry for bringing all the pain and suffering. I hope you can all forgive me." Gary Gilmore, executed in Utah in 1977 for murdering 2 young men, simply said, "Let's do it." Aileen Wuornos, executed in Florida in 2002 for multiple murders, made a cryptic declaration: "I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus, June 6, big mothership and all." Ted Bundy, a serial killer executed in Florida in 1989, said, "I'd like you to give my love to my family and friends." John Wayne Gacy, executed in Illinois in 1994 for murdering 33 young men and boys, left a defiant farewell. Kiss my ass. Jimmy Glass, executed in Louisiana in 1987 for a double murder, said wistfully, "I'd rather be fishing." Michael Zack III, executed in Florida in 2023 for a double murder, said, "I make no excuses. I lay no blame. I know Ron DeSantis has done a lot worse." Donald Dilbeck, executed in Florida in 2023 for a murder during a carjacking, criticized politics in his last words. David Martinez, executed in Texas in 2005 for a double murder, looked to the sky and said, "Only the sky and the green grass goes on forever, and today is a good day to die." James Edward Smith, executed in Texas in 1990 for robbery and murder, said cryptically, "Karma is justice." Finally, Richard Rojam, executed in Oklahoma in 2024 for kidnapping, raping, and murdering his stepdaughter, maintained his innocence. "I did not kill Layla." These last words are a powerful reminder of the weight of actions and the complexities of humanity. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more stories from history and beyond.
Sex. It's everywhere. Movies, songs, even your favorite TV commercials. But what if you never have sex? Does your body rebel? Does your brain stage a coup? Or do you just carry on like it's no big deal. Today, we're tackling the burning question. What happens if you never have sex? Trust me, the answers might surprise and maybe even terrify you. Let's dive in. Alright, let's start with the physical side of things because, well, our bodies are kind of like complicated machines built for survival and, you guessed it, reproduction. For guys, this one's big. Studies show that men who frequently ejaculate have a lower risk of prostate cancer. Yup, the factory needs to clear out old inventory to keep things running smoothly. If you're not having sex, this might mean higher risks, but good news. Solo sessions can help too. For women, the story's a bit different. Regular sex or similar activities helps keep the pelvic floor muscles strong. Without it, these muscles can weaken over time, leading to bladder issues like leakage or incontinence. Plus, sexual activity promotes natural lubrication, so skipping it might lead to dryness and discomfort. Now let's talk about the mind. Because sex isn't just physical, it's deeply tied to your mental and emotional well-being. First, there's stress. Sex releases feel-good hormones like oxytocin and endorphins, which help reduce stress and improve mood. If you're skipping out, those stress hormones might hang around longer, leading to higher blood pressure and even heart health issues. Again, solo activities can help, but nothing beats human connection when it comes to intimacy. Speaking of intimacy, let's talk about skin hunger. Yep, that's a real thing. It's the craving for physical touch and connection. And if you never have sex, this can lead to feelings of loneliness, isolation, or even depression. Remember, humans are social creatures, and we're literally wired to seek out close contact. Here's a weird one. Did you know that sex might actually boost your immune system? Research shows that people who have regular sex have higher levels of immunoglobulin A, a fancy antibody that helps fight off colds. Now let's bust a myth. Someone might have told you that if a woman doesn't have sex, her vagina will close up. Not true. While the muscles may become less elastic, the body is still perfectly functional. Here's the thing. Not everyone needs sex to live a happy and healthy life. Some people are asexual, meaning they don't feel sexual attraction, and they're perfectly fine without it. Others just prefer to focus on different aspects of life. Your body, your rules. But if you're noticing stress, loneliness, or physical discomfort, it might be worth exploring ways to address those feelings, whether through intimacy, self-care, or even just talking to someone about it. So, what happens if you never have sex? The short answer is, it depends. For some, it's no big deal. For others, there could be physical, mental, and emotional side effects to consider. The good news? A lot of these can be managed with self-care, a healthy lifestyle, and maybe a bit of self-love if you catch my drift. At the end of the day, sex isn't just about pleasure. It's about connection, health, and well-being. Whether you're getting busy or hitting the brakes, just make sure you're taking care of yourself. And hey, if you learned something new today, give this video a like and subscribe for more fun, awkward, and science-backed deep dives.
You've just stumbled upon the find of a lifetime, a genie lamp. But wait, before you dive into your 3 wishes, let's talk about how to use them wisely and avoid some disastrous mistakes.
You freed me, so I grant you 3 wishes, but beware, all magic has consequences.
First, meet our genie. Towering over you at 8 feet tall, he's shimmering blue with swirling tattoos of ancient runes, and a deep voice that echoes like thunder. Friendly? Sure, but he's also got a sly smile that makes you wonder if there's a catch to his offer. Let's start with what not to wish for, because even the best intentions can lead to unintended disasters. Unlimited wealth. Sounds perfect, right? But think about it. Suddenly becoming a billionaire might attract shady people, thieves, or even governments demanding answers about your mysterious fortune. Oh, and if inflation skyrockets because of your wish, say goodbye to the value of your riches. Immortality. Living forever sounds cool, until everyone you know and love grows old and leaves you behind. Imagine outliving humanity itself, and what if you get stuck somewhere for eternity? Being immortal doesn't guarantee being happy. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Wishing to be the ruler of the world might just make you the target of constant rebellion. Plus, it's lonely at the top when everyone's too scared to tell you the truth. Magic always seems to come with fine print. Here's how some seemingly harmless wishes could turn against you. I wish to be the smartest person in the world. Sure, you'll know everything, but imagine realizing how broken the world really is and being unable to fix it. Or worse, your newfound intelligence makes you unrelatable to everyone else. I wish for my dream partner. Love is complicated. If the person isn't truly choosing you, is it real? You might end up in a relationship built on false feelings, and nothing's lonelier than love without authenticity. I wish for world peace. An admirable goal, but magic might interpret it in unintended ways, like wiping out humanity entirely to eliminate conflict. Genies are notorious for taking wishes literally. So, how do you make wishes that work for you without all the chaos? Here are some ideas. Well-worded requests. Always be specific. Instead of saying, I want to be rich, try, I wish to have enough financial security to live comfortably and provide for my loved ones without negative consequences to others. Incremental changes. Rather than one huge wish, ask for smaller, manageable changes. For example, I wish to have the skills to achieve my goals instead of just wishing for success. Helping others. Wishes focused on benefiting others can have less risk. For instance, wishing for cures for diseases or better education systems could have a lasting positive impact. Now here's the big question. If you had 3 wishes, what would you ask for? Would you take the risk of a wish that might backfire, or would you play it safe? Drop your dream wishes in the comments below, and let's see who's got the most creative ideas. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this.
Why do we often hear the phrase, nice guys finish last? It's a saying that's both overused and misunderstood. But what if there's some truth to it? Today, we'll break down this concept using insights from psychology, sociology, and evolutionary biology, backed by authors and experts like Dr. Robert Glover, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and Adam Grant.
Let's dive in. First, let's clarify what we mean by nice guys. Contrary to what you might think, being nice isn't inherently bad. The issue arises when niceness is used as a mask for deeper insecurities, or when it becomes transactional, doing good things to gain approval or validation.
Dr. Robert Glover, in his book No More Mr. Nice Guy, explains that nice guys often struggle with what he calls toxic niceness. This stems from a need to avoid conflict, win approval, and suppress their own desires. Glover argues that this behavior doesn't create genuine connections, it creates resentment.
So why do some nice guys end up finishing last? Psychologist Dr. Jordan Peterson offers insights in his book, 12 Rules for Life. He highlights the importance of balancing kindness with assertiveness. Being overly agreeable, Peterson explains, might make people like you superficially, but it can also make you easy to overlook or even take advantage of.
Studies from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology show that people who are too agreeable often earn less and are less likely to be promoted compared to their assertive peers. It's not because they're bad, it's because they fail to advocate for their own needs. From an evolutionary perspective, being overly nice can sometimes signal weakness. In The Selfish Gene, Richard Dawkins argues that while cooperation is a crucial survival trait, individuals who don't stand up for themselves risk being outcompeted by others.
Socially, Adam Grant's book Give and Take offers a refreshing twist. He categorizes people into givers, takers, and matchers. While selfless givers can struggle in cutthroat environments, those who balance giving with boundaries often excel in the long run.
So how can nice guys avoid finishing last? The solution isn't to become a bad boy or abandon kindness. It's to integrate self-respect and assertiveness into your personality.
Finally, let's not forget, being nice isn't a flaw. It's a strength when paired with assertiveness. In fact, Adam Grant's research shows that the most successful people are often givers. But they're smart givers who know when to draw the line.
Remember, kindness is only a weakness when it's disconnected from self-worth. True strength comes from being both kind and confident.
So, the next time someone says nice guys finish last, remember this. It's not about abandoning your kindness. It's about valuing yourself enough to stand tall, set boundaries, and let your niceness shine authentically.
Welcome back to another video. Have you ever had a guy admit he liked you and it completely caught you off guard? Or maybe you've got a close guy friend that everyone insists has feelings for you, but you think he only sees you as a friend? Or perhaps there's someone special you like, but you just can't figure out how he feels about you. If you've answered yes to any of these, you're definitely not alone. Understanding guys and their feelings can be tricky. Sometimes they're just hard to read. But don't worry. Today, we're breaking it down with 8 signs that can help you figure out when a guy likes you. Number 1, he sends you lots of nonverbal signals. Whether it's through his body language or his tone of voice, pay attention to how he acts when he's around you. Many people unknowingly reveal their feelings through subtle nonverbal cues. Number 2, he spends a lot of time with you. A guy with a crush will often look for excuses to hang out, text, or make plans with you. If he's always finding ways to be near you, that's a pretty big clue. Number 3, he avoids mentioning other girls. Think back to your recent conversations. Has he talked about other women? If not, it could mean he's focused on you and doesn't want to risk giving the wrong impression. Number 4, he asks you a lot of questions. When a guy likes you, he'll often show extra interest in your life. He may ask about your relationship status, your likes and dislikes, or just listen intently to what you have to say. Number 5, he tries to impress you. Whether it's showing off his talents, intelligence, or sense of humor, a guy might go out of his way to seem more appealing to you. This instinct often comes from a desire to stand out and win your attention. Number 6, he's protective of you. If you notice he's extra thoughtful, like walking you home at night or staying close in a crowded space, it's a sign he values your safety and well-being. Number 7, he's always smiling around you. If he lights up whenever you're around or laughs more than usual, it's worth paying attention. A guy who likes you will often radiate happiness in your presence. And number 8, he tries to make you smile. Whether he's cracking jokes, teasing you playfully, or giving you thoughtful compliments, making you happy is his way of showing he cares. Did someone come to mind while hearing this list? Share your experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories. If any of these signs gave you clarity or new insights, let us know. Don't forget to like and share this video with friends who might find it helpful.
I bet you've experienced that sharp pain of stepping on a Lego at least once in your life. It's a universal experience that makes us wonder, why does such a small piece of plastic cause so much agony? Well, today we're going to dive deep into the science behind this common household hazard. We'll explore how our nerves work, how pain develops, and why our bodies react so dramatically to this tiny plastic brick. Let's start by looking at how our nerves work. You see, our bodies are crisscrossed with an intricate network of nerves, kind of like the wiring in a complex computer system. These nerves are constantly sending signals to and from our brain, keeping us informed about what's happening in and around our bodies. Now, you might be wondering, what makes stepping on a Lego so special? Well, it turns out that the soles of our feet are packed with a high concentration of pain receptors called nociceptors. These nociceptors are incredibly sensitive, and for good reason. They're designed to quickly alert us to potential dangers, like sharp objects that could injure us. Now that we've triggered these pain receptors, what happens next? This is where things get really fascinating. The moment those nociceptors are activated, they generate an electrical signal. This signal races along the nerve fibers in your foot, up your leg, and into your spinal cord. It's like a biological version of sending an urgent text message. But the interesting part is, this message doesn't just go straight to your brain. It first makes a pit stop in your spinal cord. In the spinal cord, the signal is processed and can trigger immediate reflexes. But the journey doesn't end there. The signal continues up to different parts of your brain, including the thalamus and the cerebral cortex. So, we've sent the signal, but why does stepping on a Lego hurt so much more than, say, stepping on a small pebble? Well, it's all about pressure. Legos are designed to withstand incredible amounts of force. They can support up to 953 pounds before they deform. When you step on one, all your body weight is concentrated onto a very small, unyielding surface area. This creates an intense pressure point that really gets those pain receptors fired up. But your body's reaction doesn't stop at just feeling pain. The sudden, intense stimulation can trigger a whole cascade of responses. So, there you have it. The science behind why stepping on a Lego hurts so much. It's a perfect storm of sensitive receptors, efficient signal transmission, and intense pressure, all wrapped up in a tiny, colorful package. Next time you step on one of these little bricks, you can at least appreciate the incredible complexity of your body's response. And maybe, just maybe, it'll motivate you to keep your floors Lego-free. Or at least invest in a good pair of slippers.